And then levels.
Yes. The basic, intermediate, and advanced. And we need to define what that means.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
What's
it means
the audience? Who's the
For the
audience?
audience.
Who
you're
are
ready
we
for an
teaching?
advanced class if you understand what they're saying.
And you know, that's good. That can be in the descriptor. Like, do you know what this means? Do you know what this means?
Yeah.
You know, that we could include that.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the
That's true.
terminologies of what the curriculum's going to include.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
have
that
some
should
of the
tell you if
words.
you're ready or not.
That's a good point. I think that's really
I mean,
true.
really, I talked to all these people at the fair, and I said, well, do you know what the violet flame is? Well, kind of. I said, well, it's the highest frequency in the visible spectrum of the, think of the rainbow, violet's the highest frequency. And each of those colors has a different divine quality to it. And it's like, And with violet flame, it's this, and you can do a campfire and throw stuff in it, and you can clear this, and then when you clear it, then you've got to remember that God, that the universe, that life doesn't like a vacuum, and everything, and Great Aunt Harriet's going to come in if you don't fill it up again.
Great Aunt Harriet. So I'm hearing it's a simple thing,
So
but that basic, the whole thing, and I know this is Regina's area more than mine, but I'm getting better at it. Is you explain it, you give examples of it, you give a decree to use it, and do something else to make it experiential. Boom, boom, boom. You walk
Why
them.
don't you just write that down? I like that. Define it.
Because we need to make it visual, audible, kinetic, to get all the different learning levels. Yeah.
It. Visual, audible.
If you feel it, you make it real. That's
And
the
we're
kind
so
giving example. Yeah,
and
define
examples.
Describe
Define
it.
with examples.
with examples. And then, of use. And then an exercise for them to actually utilize it and even journal what their experience is to keep them using it.
Now, I don't know if we need this. You know, we're talking about a curriculum description.
Yeah, I was just getting.
You don't need all that in there.
That's all right. I just didn't want to.
I know it just kind of popped in, and I was just like, yeah.
But what she just described is more of an exercise in my mind on a topic.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
So what I was talking about is a description of the curriculum that we would be having on a web page. So we've got the institute. Here's our curriculum. We've got a basic, intermediate, and advanced level. The basic level is for people who are new. They either know, maybe you just know how to meditate, or you've been thinking about meditate, or your intuition, or you're intrigued. You're getting guidance, your intuition is increasing, you know, little descriptions like that. So that
you don't know anything, but something's pushing you here.
That too. Yeah. So that's description for the basic. Intermediate. Okay, you've been meditating. You know how to follow your intuition and your guidance.
Here's some things you can learn to do.
Here's your guides, and you want to learn more.
Yeah.
And then we could say, give a couple examples. And then
well,
advanced.
We don't have to define it so hard. We let the teachers define whether they think it's.
Well, we do. We need to have
both.
We need to have both.
Yeah.
So we need description there, so advanced. And then, like I was saying, what I'm getting is we need divine, it's really divine, defines the beginning curriculum, like the topics. They're going to give us, I'm just going to say, 3 topics under each one of those categories. And then once we know all that, then we can put out a call to teachers. Okay, this is what we're doing. These are the topics that we are beginning with. What's your experience to teach? You know, we can ask for proposals because we want to decide, are we doing this so what's the class schedule then going to look like? Are we looking for like a university where it's once a week for 4 weeks?
Mhm.
Or are we doing weekends? And it might be all of that,
Or
but
Zoom.
so, right.
Well, yeah, but it's still the win.
But
Yeah.
it's the schedule then needs to be defined.
Yeah.
And it might be all of the above, which is fine, but we still need to define it.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, so then if we're asking the teachers, okay, submit us a proposal. And if we want them to submit, okay, what are you thinking? Like monthly, once a week monthly? Are you thinking a weekend thing? You know, we'll just ask them to define it, and then we'll choose what we want to do. Because we want a starting point and we want a baseline for all of these levels. And then we want to certainly get feedback from the teachers and students to get their feedback. What's the value?
Yeah, so maybe
What
some
you learn.
surveys. Should we do?
Absolutely
do
have
some
surveys.
and do that and say.
And then from both teacher and students, because then we'll know what else they need.
Yes.
And then that's how the curriculum's going to grow. The divine, of course, is still going to be telling us, I'm hearing you.
Yes.
Say
Yes.
that again?
Yeah. Well, the overriding council is going to give us a lot of these insights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we want to get the feedback from the students, because then that will help us define the next curriculum.
Which reminds me, we want topics on that also.
What?
The councils.
Oh,
That
yes.
would be one among the case
Yes, ma'am.
programs.
Feel free to write that down
I
and
just
say
wrote it
MRA is doing a council. Well, that's, yes, and that's, Regina said to me, would you please record that stuff? So I'll start doing that.
Okay,
Because
so-
also people that I bought and sold other classes to have been asking me for that. So that is one of the areas that I can create a program on. We already have a demand for it, so
So,
yes,
and that's where I'm going to help her.
yes.
So we can relay the information clearly, because basically I'm a live student, basically.
Yes, you are.
So then I'm going to be able to help you to structure the information, but I'm going to be able to also ask a lot of questions, which will
Yes.
also help to structure.
Absolutely. I'm so cool. She's like, I got this information. I was like, there you are, finally.
This is very interesting to me, because the last time I did that was, let's see, I was 28 when I was asked to design a master's program in
right.
gerontology for a college.
Yeah.
And I said to the woman who was interviewing me, could I spend the weekend thinking about this? And we created the program. We got a federal grant for it. It was the biggest program on the campus during that time. And then I had 3 babies and a dissertation to finish and a nervous breakdown.
She did. She had a nervous breakdown.
And I
Blessings.
spent some time at home after that. But it's possible. We can do it. We can make the money to do it. And
The universe is going to provide the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
They will guide us, so be it the nonprofit thing or however else they're going to bring it to us, but I
It's
see
coming.
the money coming
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
us.
This is a preordained project.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, and it's time. Yay.
Yes. So now I can finally see and feel this, because when we were
Nice.
talking about it before, I just went, oh, God. No offense. But it's like,
I'm not God's own.
I did not want to be spinning my wheels, no offense, on something that wasn't going to make money or support me, us, while we're doing it. Because, I had gotten this guidance so long ago. It's like, stop working for free.
Yeah.
Stop working for free.
Yeah.
Do not do it. Do not work for free. I went, okay. And so that's all I hear and remember. So thank you for showing me that this Financial energy is big and coming and around us and holding the field.
And it's going to that which is appropriate and supportive of the divine plan, and here we are.
Yes.
Indeed.
So
And it's
thank you
just-
for showing me that and
Yeah,
letting me feel
brilliant.
it.
Very nice. Very nice. It is. It's so
At some
lovely.
point, we're going to have to talk board and staff.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
that'll be part of the business plan.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is absolutely part of the business plan. And
So teachers are certainly part of the.
and are we going to have a brick and mortar, or is it just going to be online? I
keep
prefer
seeing
both.
us taking over the junior college. And
College of the Siskiyous?
That's rather ambitious.
well, it's not going to be next week. I wasn't thinking of it as next week, but I did think that it was very possible because. But we could potentially run a program through it.
Yes,
Some introductory
Yes.
stuff. Could,
yes.
I think that's a good starting point to do that, and there is a particular, and Joy Taylor will know how to do that
Yes,
because she's
so
Right
Joy
with him.
Taylor needs to be on the board.
yes.
well,
If
if
she's
she's willing.
still
Mhm.
active.
Yes, she is.
She
She's
is.
teaching.
Oh yes, she's doing. Yeah.
Okay,
But whether or not she'd want to be on the board, that would be lovely if she would like to be on the board, of course.
Paz is another person that might be on. She's
Oh,
running.
Paz is the one that does the business plans at Jedi.
Yeah.
That's her name. It's such an unusual name.
well, she's one of the main administrators.
But she's the one that does
She did
the-
everything.
Yeah, but she did the business plans. She Paz. Yeah, it's such an interesting P-A-J, isn't it, her
I
name?
thought it was Z, but whatever.
Mm.
It could be J.
Podge. I think it's
Podge.
Anyways,
J.
lovely, lovely, so knowledgeable, kind,
Yes.
calm,
Smart,
you know,
knowledgeable, kind, smart.
easy
High-
teaches, guides. But anyway, so
Good
all those
worker.
kinds of things, so.
Nice person.
But anyways, the brick and mortar thing, are we gonna do it through the college and make some kind of arrangement with them, or are we gonna start it all online, or are we gonna have something where we're using some building in town, like, I don't know.
so,
yeah.
yep, so that would
Those are all
be
questions.
questions but also in the business plan because it's going to
Yes.
ask us that.
Yeah, that's true. These are all these things, and I personally like the idea of having both, because that does allow for in-person kinetic. So the herb course that Robin started taking, and I'm being shown this again, and it was based out of one of the biggest herbology colleges in Birmingham, Alabama, I believe. And they had this big program, and then they had, at certain junctures in the program, everybody had to meet in person and do the hands-on stuff. So by having a brick and mortar, it allows a combination of the online, distant training with the, now you get to meet and make the practicum, the hands-on, in coursework that requires that, which some does and some doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of a building too.
Mm.
You know, that's why I actually asked about the IM University, even though I
Oh, right.
have never been up there. I knew that they had classes, so I didn't know how it
They
was
used to
set
have
up.
their program at one of the stores on, I
Yeah,
think it was the corner of Alma and
yes, on the
it
right
wasn't
side.
Chestnut. I know it was the main street. There's a series of buildings that are
Yeah,
commercial.
It's all
And it was-
Michaela, you're right.
was there.
Yeah, the northwest corner. Yeah, I don't know why they moved out of that. That was.
It was really lovely space.
It was.
Yeah.
But we
But
can,
anyways,
yeah, we can
we'll
ask
just
the
ask.
universe,
show us.
show us because you're providing it all for us. So show us because we, in my opinion, would want to have multiple classrooms, so not just one room.
Oh, that's true.
We need to have multiple rooms,
Good point.
right? So in case, things are going on at the same time or overlapping time, we can't limit ourselves to one room. We would have to have multiple rooms. I'm seeing 3,
It's an
maybe 4.
interesting thing.
Mhm. Good point.
I'm just wondering if one could rent some of the schools
Well,
after
that's
hours.
well, you can with the adult school kind of a thing. So it is part of that to look into
we
the.
call that adult school.
Yeah,
still.
and that's when I was teaching at COS way back when. It was part of the adult school curriculum, but all the payments and all the everything goes through the school. So
Right.
if we're going to do something different, we have to make an arrangement to lease part of the building, I think. So that I think that will be different because the adult school is run through the college. So it's different.
Yes. Right.
Different.
So we would be creating more of a partnership
Yeah, exactly.
versus being part of their curriculum. We would want to create a partnership to run our stuff out of.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are set up just what we need, frankly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And again, Joy, God bless you, Joy. I hope you have a few minutes because she will definitely know about all those things and that structure. So, and whether it's COS or something else that we're going to be shown.
yeah, I mean there could be another building in the area that's would suit our needs. Because it doesn't have to be in Mount Shasta unless you want it to be. I'm just not that familiar with stuff, but I know there's lots of empty buildings here. Because I'm starting to pay attention to that.
If we want an empty building, we can look at weed.
Well, and also I'm being shown that it started out with as a big Lay Schwab up on the frontage road and between, and then it went into wholesale solar. Do we know if
I think wholesale solar is going through the roof, so you're not likely to get them back. They've been buying up buildings all over.
Oh, good for them. I'm glad they're doing so well. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very.
But it would have,
useful.
There's something. Okay. Well, let's just.
So we'll just let the universe do that.
However, it's already there waiting for us. We just
Agreed.
have
And
to
divine right timing.
get our
Absolutely.
line up with the space, and we're good to go.
When we are ready for the space will be ready for us.
Now, here's an example. I was talking to Robert of Kathleen and Robert from the Heart Center.
Nice.
He's got this whole big property behind himself that he has purchased in order to have, it's at least as big as all of this. In addition to his home and the garden and stuff, there's another whole large lot, at least an acre. But I have no idea how big an acre is, so that's a waffling term. But I asked him, because he had a vision for it, it was all drawn up and things, and we tried to get to the building stage, and the neighbors complained about parking. They weren't supportive of it, and so he was going to move to a very large house that had rooms that did all the things he wanted them to do, which was a good idea. So I asked him the other day, how's that going? And he said, well, we've kind of drawn back on that because the bigger possibility is become very possible. So there's that possibility of it being built by the time we get ready for it.
Well.
Oh, they want to hold classes
for
there?
Teachings, workshops, all that kind of stuff. And it I don't think you could limit it entirely to their organization because they don't do that. It's like, well, their organization's also growing too. So
the Heart Center.
we can either cooperate with the organization.
We can have a
classes
conversation with them and see.
But they have their own university.
I think talking to them and saying, this is what we're planning on doing, and are you willing to collaborate with us? Can we, and what is the interior of the building going to be? Is it going to be a room? Or
No,
is it
it's
gonna,
definitely not gonna be a room. It's
Well,
definitely going to be,
if you
I
see,
mean, the least it would have been was a house with a lot of rooms that were bigger than usual. You know,
so you
that were accessible in that way, but it would be quote a house.
Okay, so they've told you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's shown me the plans and we walked the
Okay.
land and all sorts of things.
Well, that's an option too. I
But
don't know.
that's down the road because it's, right now it's an empty lot.
Well, and again, the Overlanding Council has this, the plan, one of the big things that we're teaching people and that we get to remember is that most of this has already been designed on the etheric level. Our job is to listen and bring it down and not try to make it up from this level, because that's not how it works. And that's why.
Okay, so
That's why Regina, she said, yes, we're listening to you, because they're
okay,
very active in this conversation.
here's a possibility. I don't think either of you have seen this property, but maybe. A couple of years ago, the people who own Soul Connection bought this property, which is over on the road that goes to,
Oh, I love
The
that
lake.
property. That's where the Heart Center thing went. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I just saw that a minute ago too.
there's a big 20-foot statue of Kuan Yin there.
Oh my God, it's just
And
exquisite.
there is a building that exists there, but their pricing is like through the roof,
Yeah.
basically. But for a retreat place or something like that, it's quite amazing. There's a lake and there's a lot of
Oh,
land.
it's so
The
pretty.
building's kind of small. They might be intending to have a bigger something. You never know with this town what's going to happen. But that's certainly
Lovely.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just the property. It's just gorgeous back there. I'm so grateful that somebody who's conscious is being the steward of it.
Yes.
So that's very. But
Well,
yeah,
on the
so.
other hand, in terms of gossip, I have heard that they're having trouble financially, despite the fact they bought one building after the other in a row, you know, expanded, and they were full the whole time during COVID because it was the only place people could go and feel safe, and
Mm-hmm.
on and on. But they were. I don't see how they could be losing money unless they're just spending too much of it on land. But I don't know all the details, but that's gossip. So we can bless them and
Gossip,
hope it all
gossip.
works out well for them because they certainly deserve it. And they worked very hard.
Well, again,
Mhm.
anyway, I think we're jumping way ahead on where's the brick and mortar gonna be? That will come in as part of the plan, and it will be
After
available when we're ready to do something with it. So.
Yes, the foundation is the classes are the foundation, not the
Right.
building.
Yep. So still first place, business plan.
Yep, absolutely.
First
Yes.
stop, business plan. And well, maybe along with on our first meeting. So if you're able to gather anything on the business plan, you know, they might have even stuff on the website. I haven't had time to look at that. But
Well, I've got the plan I wrote for the program.
Great.
It was based on the plan design because that was the class we took was on doing the business plan.
Yep.
And that was the requirement to take the classes so that you could get the grant.
But I think Podge
But-
has a template, Regina, that she can send.
Template for business plan.
Okay.
If that's what you're thinking, I'm pretty sure when I did mine, she sent me a template.
right. Yes, that's what we need so we can fill it out. And if
Mhm.
they're having that class you guys have described, I think that would be immensely helpful for
Mhm.
us. Probably
Mhm.
speed the process along.
Mhm.
So that's still first step, and Monday, even though we're already having our Monday meeting, um,
Yeah, I did notice that, but it's a highly productive meeting, so I'm not.
it is, yeah. So overlighting team, I think
I'll type up my notes.
we need to type up your notes and connect more with them, and let's, you know, set any intentions or whatever we need to do with them.
Mhm.
Be very clear, find out who's on
Yeah, who's on the
the
council?
team,
And,
and whatever it is we whatever it is you do with an overlighting council.
I got it. I'm talking and typing. This is like up for action. I love this. This is so great. I'm like, I am duly inspired to get this in place now because people really are asking for it. So that's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
I mean, I agree. I love divine mastery. You know, this I feel this here in the core of my heart.
Yeah,
Living Your Divine Mastery
Yes.
Institute.
it's lovely.
Like, yep.
Yep.
And this is just going to be the big old beacon that Mount Shasta is, and supports the community, supports the people who live here, supports those who want to learn. And so, do we need to talk about, not right now, you're going to say not right now. All right. But, you know.
Well, do you want to make a note? What was it you were going to ask?
Oh no, I know. I'm like, you know, it needs to go. You're saying we need a team of people. So, okay. Let me
Give me a
pause.
hint.
Let me pause
What
this.
are you alluding